Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week again. It's Flex Friday on PrizePicks. If you're hyped like I'm hyped, smash that like button, okay? Because today's a big day. Today, we put it all on the line, all right? Today, we go to war. We're here to defend the PrizePicks Heavyweight Championship of the World on Flex Friday. And there ain't no better day, my brothers and sisters, than today to put this magnificent big gold belt on the line. Victory awaits. Victory is upon us. Today we go 6 for 6. Today we cash out a 25x payout. Do you feel it? I feel it. I feel it. We're walking home with the strap. The big gold belt staying right here, baby. All right? We're putting it all on the line. We're putting it all on the line today, brothers and sisters. Now that you know what the business is, we can get down to business. Appreciate everybody joining me. My name's CJ Curry. This is the CJ Curry Show. Yes, we're defending the big gold belt today against PrizePicks. We got to come up with 6 winning picks. Today's mission, today's goal, 6 winning picks. We want to go 6 for 6. We want to turn our risk-free entry into 25 times more than what we risk, right? That's the goal. Today is Flex Friday, in case y'all didn't know. You get your first Flex entry back up to $20 if it loses. It's only available on Flex Plays, placed after 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which is now. So any Flex entry that you put in after 10:30 a.m. is completely protected up to $20. Now, let me let you in on a little secret, a little tip. I have been putting $33.33 on my 6-pick Flex Friday protected plays. Why is that? Well, because PrizePicks protects you up to $20 net in losses. So if you put $33.33 on the line, you get 4 out of 6 right. You get $13.33 back, but you've actually lost $20 in net profits, losses, dollars. You've actually lost $20. So they'll cover you. So I've been putting $33.33 on the line each and every day for Flex Friday. So I would recommend you do the same if you have it. If you have $33.33 in your account, do that. All right. Appreciate all 57 people we have here. 20 likes. Come on, guys. Get those likes up. Get those likes up. I know we could do better than that. We got MLB today. We've got WNBA, lots of baseball games, lots of women's basketball to talk about. So there's a lot of different ways that we could go today. Let's run through the chat real quick. Let's say what's up to all my friends, all my family that are out there that are joining me. Peyton, shout out to you. Thanks for being here. Jacob's in the building. We got D'Angelo sending, says, what's up, gang? I'll be back in Patreon next month. Love to hear that, D'Angelo. We miss you, buddy. Anthony Taylor, longtime subscriber, longtime supporter. Appreciate you being here as well. Mr. Wesley Winston, a.k.a. my man Dub. He says, top of the morning, back at you. Jacob's in the building, says, do any of you guys have Hot Streak Fantasy? No, I don't, personally. I'm PrizePicks through and through. Kentavious, thanks for being here. King United says, let's cook up some picks today. We got Blake Starling in the building, says, CJ, what it do? Let's flex. Supreme, you flex. I got to flex back. It's Flex Friday. It's just the rules around here. That's what we do. Everyday Fantasy says, what it do? Good people. We got Tyrone in the building, says, just flex, baby. Let me see what you put on those picks and a flex, baby. What up, CJ? Let's get this money. Tyrone, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Dorf, Hoof, I see you. Jermaine's in the building. JC, Jermaine. We got High Flyer in here. Who else we got in here? King United said, I never knew about the 33-33 method. Yeah. Something I just started to implement recently. I was always putting just $20 on it, right? But, I mean, we're going to hope that we go at least 4 out of 6 Hopefully 5 out of 6. 6 out of 6 would be the ideal outcome. But yeah, that's definitely the move. Dorf is here, part of the Patreon gang. Guys, if you're not part of Patreon yet, great time for you to jump in. You can jump in at any point, and your membership will carry over. So today's the 18th. It will be good until September 18th in this case. It's just $20 a month, 60 cents per day or so, 60, 70 cents per day. But I'm posting picks. We went 4-2 on yesterday's MLB picks. In fact, one of our Patreon members, my guy June Pobby or Punjabi, whatever you want to call him, he had himself a pretty nice little hit. Let's bring his nice little payday up on the screen, shall we? So my man put in a couple of the picks that I put up on the Discord for folks who are a part of the Patreon gang. James Outman under 1.5 hitter strikeouts. That one ended up coming through. He also used the other pick that I took, which was Mookie Betts over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And then he added a couple of his own picks in there. A couple of NFL preseason picks. So he turned that $30 4-pick power play into 300 smackaroos. So congratulations to my guy. He's just paid for the next year of Patreon in one night, just using a couple of the picks that I put out there for the community. So definitely something to think about, guys. If you're looking for a family-friendly community, a community full of people that are, just trying to help each other out, help each other win, sharing information, sharing their favorite picks and entries, etc. We got it, right here for you. All right. Private Discord, everything included with that Patreon. So let's get down to business. Like I said, lots of MLB to talk about, lots of WNBA to talk about. We got over 70 people here. For those of you who are just now getting here, guys, the big thing that we're talking about today is we're defending this strap. We're putting the belt on the line today against PrizePicks, guys. We got to go 6 for 6. We cannot take an L tonight, okay? Because this bad boy right here has to stay with me. I can't let PrizePicks walk away with the belt. No, not on my watch. Not on your watch. Okay? Smash the like button if you're ready to defend the strap against PrizePicks today. The gold stays here, friends. It ain't going nowhere. We're going to do this together. We're going to go through, find 6 winning picks, and hopefully walk away with a dub. All right? That's what we're doing. All right, so you can see it up on the screen. We've got the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer pulled up here. Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, one of the fantastic go-to tools of my toolkit here. Why is this tool one of my go-tos? Well, because it's a plus EV tool. Basically, it allows you to find the positive expected value plays. The plays that typically get bumped up and bumped down or completely removed from the PrizePicks board, a lot of the times they come from this tool right here. All right, this thing will help you identify the value before those lines get moved up or down on you, before those lines get taken away. This tool right here, game changer. Whether you're playing on PrizePicks, maybe you're playing on one of these other sites, Underdog, Parlay, Play, Boom, Fantasy, Flip, Hot Streak, Jock Market, Sleeper, Sports Battle, Thrive, and Vivid. This tool supports all those sites. It's got every site that you play on covered for the most part. All right. Check it out. I've left a link down in the description of today's video for you to save $5. Use code Curry and go ahead and give it a spin. All right, we're going to use it today to help us with our research. Appreciate everybody who slid in here. Contavious says he won last night from the Patreon. Appreciate that, Contavious. Let's keep it going today. Let's keep it going. Shady says, first time here, already loving the energy. Well, make sure you subscribe, Shady. If we go 6 for 6 on these picks today, I'm going to pick somebody from the comment section, not the live chat, but the comment section. So once I end the live, you'll have an opportunity to go to the comment section on the replay of today's live stream. If you go and leave a comment in there, make sure you subscribe, like, leave a comment. I'm going to pick somebody. If we go 6 for 6, I'm giving away $100. I'm giving away $100 if we go 6 for 6 on these picks today. Appreciate the sub, Nicholas. Thank you for being a part of the community. Walk Down Gang, thank you for subbing as well. Appreciate you guys. All right. What are we looking at today, guys? Y'all start dropping some picks. I'm here to help you guys research. We'll take a look at some stuff together. One of the tools that I've been using a lot lately is the BAT by Derek Carty. It is a fantastic MLB projection model. I use it on EV Analytics for the most part. The reason I use it on EV Analytics is because you can go and select wherever you like to play your favorite player props, in this case, PrizePicks. And then you can kind of take a look right here. It'll show you sort of like the best edges. The projections or picks that have the biggest edges versus like the ones that are all the way down at the bottom, you know, these would be like the ones that have the best chance of going under, in other words. So let's take a quick look through this real quick. And some of the categories that I like to explore are pitcher strikeouts. We could start with that and just kind of take a look at the strikeout board. There's so many different options today, guys. And I've already jumped on a ton of value this morning. Let me show you guys what I already have in here. So like Spencer Strider over 8 strikeouts, Andre Jackson under 5 strikeouts, Pablo Lopez for less than 8 strikeouts. I know that one's been bumped down to 7.5. Peter Lambert, he was at 3.5. I think he's down to 3. Michael Kopech, less than 5. Sandy Alcantara, under 5.5 pitcher strikeouts. Also had another sort of like variation of that entry where I took Bryce Miller for less than 5 strikeouts. What else did I take? Alex Cobb for more than 4 strikeouts, and Jameson Taillon for more than 5 strikeouts. So those are like 6, 12, 12, they're not 12 different picks, but 12 total picks, okay? 2 different 6 picks that I put together. Like I said, some of these lines already moved, but if you're a Patreon member, you got in on the value before the lines moved. I post this real early this morning at 8:30 a.m. So some of these lines have moved. Patreon members got it first. You guys are getting sort of the leftovers, but hey, you know, better than nothing. You know, if you're a Patreon member, you get early access to this kind of stuff before these lines move. So let's take a look at some of these real quick and see kind of like where our biggest edges are still on the board. So Jameson Taillon still looks like he's at 5 strikeouts. He's at 5.79 Ks according to the bat here. The other guy that I took that hasn't really been bumped at all, Alex Cobb, was at 4 strikeouts. The bat has him at 4.69 strikeouts. Spencer Strider was another one who's at 8 strikeouts. He's at 8.69 projected strikeouts. So, I mean, let's start with Jameson Taillon, because that's a pretty big differential, 0.8 strikeout difference. We know the bat has him projected pretty high. We're going to take a look at some of these other sites here. So like this one here, 4.48 projected strikeouts on a line of 5. So that puts him under 5. So the bat likes him to go over. RotoWire is this site. They have him projected to go under. Taking a look at some of these other sites here for Taillon. So am I saying his name right? Taillon, or is it? Yeah, I think it's just, you know, the LL is like a Y, right? 5.48 projected Ks over here on Fantasy Labs. So they like him to go over 5 as well. So, I mean, that could be an option for you guys. If you haven't taken this pick yet, Jameson Taillon over 5 Ks doesn't look like a bad option. Most of the sites have him projected to go over here. So 5 or more is what we're hoping for. He's projected for 4.86 here. I'm sorry, 4.98. 4.98, so that's almost 5 strikeouts. So pretty much every site that we've looked at so far has him, you know, really close to 5 or at more than 5. So I mean, that could be a consideration for you guys to take Jameson Taillon in your lines if you haven't yet in your entries. As far as this being a plus EV play, let's run it through the optimizer real quick and see if this is considered a plus EV play or not. So you just simply type his name in. Let's see if he's on the board. So surprisingly, he's not up on the board right now. Shady Savage, thank you for subbing to the channel. Spike 1K, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you guys. Growing the subscriber count, 1 sub at a time. Let's run those likes up, guys. 74 people watching. We've only got about 38 likes. That's like half. So there's half of you watching who haven't hit the like button yet. Let's try to get the word out. Let's try to get this video out, this live stream out to as many people as possible. I can do it with your support, okay? Appreciate you guys. So Taillon not on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer for whatever reason, but, you know, just based on the projections that we've seen so far, I mean, I think he's an option. Now, one thing that I'll tell you is that typically speaking, whenever I place one of these 6-pick flex entries, I don't like to include too many picks that could potentially tie or push, because I want the full 25x payout. I don't want my 6-pick to turn into a 5-pick from 25x down to 10x. I don't want my 5 pick to go from 10x down to like potentially a 4 pick, which is what, 5x? So you get some pretty big dips in payouts whenever you start including too many of those picks that could potentially tie or push. So I try to stay away from those. I try to avoid them whenever possible, but sometimes you just, you have to take the value if it's there. Taking a look at Jamison Tyon here. He is projected for 4.6 Ks on FTN. Fade the Noise Daily, FTN Daily. So that's just another site for you guys to kind of consider, but most of these projections for Tyon are right around 5Ks. So, I mean, he's going to be honorable mention for more than 5 strikeouts, I think. We mentioned some of the other ones. I've seen a lot of people kind of hyped up about Spencer Strider today. He was at 8 strikeouts. He's now at 8.5, so the value has dissipated, so to speak, from Spencer Strider. I think I'm going to stay away from it at 8.5. I liked it at 8, but value doesn't typically last forever. Michael Kopech under 5 strikeouts was another one that we talked about. Let's run through that one real quick. Kopech taking on the Colorado Rockies, which is kind of scary because the Rockies do tend to strike out quite a bit. His first projection is 4.54 though. His line is 5. So we're hoping for 5 or less, right, with Kopech. So that first projection, not too shabby at 4.54. We got him at 5.3 here, so you kind of got a range of 4.5 to 5.3. Let's check some other projections. We'll head over to Fantasy Labs for this one. They've got him all the way up at 5.8. Okay, he's going to be a fade for me. Fade meaning I'm not going to take it. I've already taken it once. I don't think I want to take it again. I'm just seeing too many projections that have him over 5. So I think for me, I'm going to leave him off. Leave him off for right now. Who else? Oh, Sandy. Sandy was one who has not been bumped up or bumped down yet. I think he would probably be bumped down, if anything. He's at 5.5 right now. Let's take a look at where he's at on the bat. Yeah, the bat has him all the way down, projected for just 4.4 Ks on a line of 5.5. So for me, guys, I mean, I'm already interested in this one. Going up against the Dodgers. We know the Dodgers can be a very dangerous offensive team. Sandy's going to be, I think he's on the road tonight. Is that true? I'm not sure if he's pitching at home or not. Anyway, let's take a look at some other projections for Alcantara. 4.10. So they have him at an even lower projection than what the bat has him at. So I think Sandy under 5.5 Ks, I mean, based on the first 2 projections, is looking pretty solid. 5.28. Again, the line is 5.5. So 3 different projections now have him for less or under. Now, 5.99 on Number Fire, they do have him going closer to 6, but that seems to be kind of an outlier, right? Most of these sites have him going under. 5.5 right on the nose here on FTN. So, I mean, for me, I think we could go ahead and include him. Let's just check and see, is this a plus EV play or not? Let's see. His strikeouts are not up on the board for whatever reason. So I'm not seeing just his strikeouts on their own. They have like his combo strikeouts. Not really interested in that. But I'm going to play it. I think I'll take a shot here for Sandy under 5.5 for our first play. What do you guys think? I think there's enough projection support here with him going under 5.5. Plus, it's not a prop that's going to tie or push. We're going to get a clean win or a clean loss. Hopefully, it's a clean win by taking the under on Alcantara at 5.5. All right. What else do we have up here? Do we dare take a shot at Spencer Strider under 8.5? I mean, let's look. It's playing with fire. He is set at, hold on. He's obviously set at 8.5 on PrizePicks. He was at 8. He has been bumped up, like I mentioned before. Spencer Strider, probably the MLB's top strikeout artist out on the mound right now. So anytime you take an under on Strider, it's not the most comfortable feeling in the world. But here's what I'll tell you about taking the under at 8.5. 54.1% chance that he goes under at 8.5 strikeouts. Now, for those of you who like playing with fire, let's go take a look at some projections on Spencer Strider at 8.5. The first projection provided by the bat has him at about 8.7. Just slightly more than 8.5. We take a look at where he's at on RotoWire. He is at 8.5 right on the nose, right? So there's no projections so far that have him at like 9 or more Ks today. So far, two projections have him under 9 strikeouts. 8.49 on Fantasy Labs. And if you take a look at Number Fire here, Number Fire's got him down at 7.4 strikeouts. So his line set at 8.5. And then last but not least, FTN has him at 9.1. 9.1 kind of represents the ceiling, right? That's the highest projection that we saw him at. The lowest being 7.4. So you have a range of 7.4 to 9.1 on 5 different projection models that we just took a look at together. The plus EV move, okay, based on the odds pulled from these sports books, is to take the under on Spencer Strider at 8.5. Again, dangerous proposition, right? Because we know Spencer Strider's got double-digit strikeout potential, especially against a team like the Giants. So, but I wanted to put it out there. Put it on your radar, so to speak. Let's take a look at some of these other pitcher-player props. Let me clear all categories. I want to look at just pitcher strikeouts. See if there's any other value that, may or may not be sitting out there, lingering. Appreciate everybody being here. We got Dante in the building. He's liking some Gavin Williams under 7 Ks. He's also liking Michael Harris over hitter strikeouts. Interesting. Are we going to take any NBA? Just Jeff? Absolutely. Absolutely. We're starting with baseball. We can transition over to WNBA in just a minute. Ali says, welcome back. Thanks for having me. Sandy is on the road playing in LA. Yeah, so I don't mind that. I don't hate that, actually. Sandy under 5.5 Ks against the Dodgers. All right. What about some of these other ones? We got Joey Lucchesi of the New York Mets. He's at 3.5 strikeouts, 53.4% chance that he goes over 3.5 Ks. Over 3.5 Ks. You can kind of see some of these sports books here and how the odds or the juice is setting up here on this pick at 3.5 Ks. Minus 126 on Pinnacle, which is one of the sharper sports books out there. Minus 142 on FanDuel, minus 130 on DraftKings, minus 140 on BetMGM, minus 133 on Caesars, minus 132 on, is that Bovada? So you kind of see where the juice is going here on Joey. Let's take a look at some projections on Joey. Maybe over 3.5 is not that bad of a move. First projection has him really close to 3.5 at 3.46. I wish that was like 4.46. I'd be jumping on it a little bit quicker. Let's take a look at RotoWire. They've got him at 5.12. So that's a pretty big projection. The Bat had him at 3.4. He's at 5.1 over here on RotoWire. Heading over to Fantasy Labs. Fantasy Labs has him projected for 5.61 Ks today, going up against the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a pretty huge projection. So we've seen a low of 3.4, a projection of 5.6 representing the high. Interesting. I might take a shot at this. 3.11 Ks over on Number Fire. That's the lowest projection. So that's kind of like the floor, so to speak, 3.1. But the 5.6 ceiling, if everything goes right for him, kind of intriguing, kind of interesting. Let's also take a look and see where he is at here on FTN. They've got him projected for exactly 3.5 Ks. What do we think, guys? Do we want to make this pick number 2, Joey Lucchesi at 3.5 strikeouts for more? I mean, it's definitely one of those boomer bust type plays, it seems like, being that his lowest projection was 3.1, but his highest is 5.6. I mean, if he could get somewhere like 4 or 5 Ks, we're in really good shape. Can't say says he likes Joey. Tyrone says, yep, he made the cut. Interesting. All right, we got a couple of backers for Joey here. Well, we could throw him in there against St. Louis. I don't hate it, right? Again, there's a lot of other plays on the board, but a lot of these have been either bumped up or bumped down. You know, guys like Bryce Miller, Michael Kopech, we talked about, Zach Thompson, Tyler Anderson. So I'm going to try to avoid those. What about these other ones that have not been bumped up or bumped down? Let's continue to go through the optimizer here. Andrew Haney, he's at 5.5 Ks. Now, he's kind of scary for me. I think the last time I played Andrew Haney, he made a exit in the first inning, I believe it was, in the last start that he made. It just seems like this guy's always got something going on. Either he's underperforming or he's getting hurt or there's just a lot of like weird stuff that happens with Andrew Heaney. Now, when he's on, he's on. He's one of the better guys when it comes to, you know, being a strikeout pitcher. But he just feels too volatile. Like, I don't know if I trust him. But nonetheless, he is about a 52.6% chance of going over today. So let's just run through some projections real quick on Heaney. Like I said, a little bit risky with this guy. But look at this. He's projected for 6 Ks today on the bat. Again, his line is 5.5. He's going up against the Milwaukee Brewers. Second projection, over on RotoWire, they've got him at 5.8 Ks. Again, the line is 5.5. So 2 projections have him going over thus far. Andrew Heaney over on Fantasy Lab, 6.12 strikeouts on a line of 5.5. Number Fire's got him sitting at 4.7. So that's kind of the lowest projection we've seen thus far. Pretty much all the projections were over 5.5. This is the first projection that has him for under 5.5 at just 4.7 Ks. And then we'll go back to FTN real quick and take a look at him there. He's at 5.5 strikeouts, right on the dot. What do we think about Andrew Heaney? Like I said, he exited, I believe, his last game against San Francisco after just pitching 1 inning. Didn't even make it out of 1 inning. I think they said he had some kind of, blamed it on an injury or something. And that was August 12th, so that was 6 days ago. We in or we out on Heaney today? I mean, projection-wise, most of the projections have him going for more than 5.5. Yeah, Caesar, he definitely has the upside. I agree with you. The upside's definitely there. Like, when this dude's on, he can put up big strikeout numbers. We'll leave him in just as a honorable mention, a worthy consideration for right now. How about that? Until we find something better, and then maybe he's one of the guys that gets cut first from our 6th pick. Jeremiah says, no, he's not taking Heaney. Hoof says, out. What do you mean out? You're out on him? Steven's liking some Rafael Devers over 7 fantasy score against the Yankees. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Let's keep looking through some of these other categories here. So that's pitcher strikeouts for you. We found sort of the best value right now is Spencer Strider under 8.5 strikeouts. I don't know if you want to go there or not. Listen, we could throw him in there as a worthy consideration as well. He and Heaney, though, could probably be like sort of the first cuts. But I like the other two. The other two, I'm all right with both of those. But that's what we got so far. Those 4 rascals. Those 4 little fellers right there. Appreciate all the likes. 45 likes. 81 of you watching. Appreciate that. Can't wait for basketball season to come back. Listen, I know NFL has to come back around first, and I'm very happy about NFL. Don't get me wrong. But, man, is there anything like daily NBA picks on PrizePicks or wherever you like to play? Is there anything like it? There's really nothing quite like daily NBA picks. Just saying. I love NFL and all, but it's only like once, twice, 3 times a week or whatever. Ain't nothing like daily NBA. Can't wait for it. Brian's saying some of the combos are looking good today. Yeah, I mean, I see some combos up on the optimizer that were really kind of poking their head out, but let's look through some of these other pitching options here. What are some other ways that we could go? I saw some folks mentioning some pitching outs. Let's take a look at those real quick. A lot of these pitching out options are very sort of EV neutral, we'll call it. I mean, you got like a 52% chance on a guy like Bryce Miller to go over 15.5 pitching outs. Tony Gonsolin at 17.5, just a 51.8% chance of him going under. So that's almost a coin flip, guys. That's almost a 50-50 chance, you know, whether he goes over or under at 17.5. So nothing really standing out there in the pitching outs category. Hits allowed has been one that I've gone to in the past. Is that really the only hits allowed option we have right now, Spencer Strider? That can't be true. There's got to be more hits allowed options than that. Maybe the optimizer doesn't have them all loaded in. Let me go look. Let's go look. There's got to be more hits allowed than that, though. Oh, yeah. There's plenty of hits allowed on here. Now, of course, like strikeouts, a lot of these have been pushed up or pushed down, which is not good for our intents and purposes, right? We're trying to build a 6-pick without any push picks. We don't want the push potential. We want clean wins, clean losses. There's our guy, Andrew Haney, again. He's at 4.5 hits allowed. Andre Jackson's at 4.5 hits allowed. Everything else has been either bumped up or bumped down. There's only two on the board. Let's see if there's any value with either one of these. Andrew Haney at 4.5, Andre Jackson at 4.5. Let's just run through some projections real quick. So I got Haney at 4.9 hits allowed, going up against Milwaukee. So the bat has him close to 5 hits allowed. That's not terrible. I don't mind that. His hits allowed on RotoWire's 4.8 on a line of 5.5. So slightly more than 4.5, closer to 5 than 4. Haney's hits allowed over on NumberFire, 4.1. That's the only site that has him projected for less than 4.5 hits allowed. So 2 out of 3 sites like Haney to go for more than 4.5 hits allowed. So, I mean, that could be an option. That could be an option going up against the Brewers today. The other guy was Jackson, who's also sitting at 4.5 hits. Now, he's at 4.2 on the bat. I don't know much about this guy. This might be the first start that he's made all season. To be honest with you, his name does not ring any bells for me. Pitching for Pittsburgh, going up against Minnesota. 4.8, so the bat has him under. RotoWire has him slightly over. And then NumberFire's got him sitting at 4.59. So not a ton of value just based on projections alone. I think out of those two, I would rather have Haney for more than 4.5 hits allowed than I would Jackson. Now, if you think Haney gets blown up tonight, you could take Haney's hits allowed over 4.5 instead of the strikeouts. Just saying, it's an option. Let's see, what else do we have here? One of the other categories that I like to go to a lot is hitter strikeouts. Let's take a look at the EV analytics on the hitter strikeouts here. Who do we have on the board? Anything good here? We've got Riley Green of the Detroit Tigers, whose line is at 1.5 hitter strikeouts. His projection is 1.26, which is obviously less than 1.5. So that one's kind of catching my eye. I think somebody also mentioned Michael Harris for more than 1 hitter strikeout, going up against Alex Cobb and the San Francisco Giants. His projection is at 0.93. So let's look at both of those. Maybe Riley Green for less than 1.5 hitter strikeouts. Maybe Michael Harris for more than 0.5 hitter strikeouts. Both of those seem to be projecting very well early on. So we'll start with Green. His hitter strikeouts line, 1.21 today. So that's 2 very nice unders on Riley Green. I don't hate that. So far, it looks really nice. Let's take a look over here on NumberFire and see where they've got him at. I'm gonna have to go all day. Green plays at 4:10 p.m. So kind of an early game. Yeah, 1.4 projected hitter strikeouts. 3 different projection models all have him going for less than 1.5 hitter strikeouts. I like that. I think I'm gonna include him in here. Let's see. Go Riley. He's at 1.5, and we're thinking about the under here. Again, Strider and Haney probably going to be the first guys that we cut if we see something else that really stands out to us that we're liking. But Riley Green, under 1.5 hitter strikeouts, I'm on board with that. I think that looks like a nice option. Now, the other one that you guys had mentioned, I think, was Michael Harris, and we did talk about how he looks like a nice play for more than 0.5 hitter strikeouts. Let's go take a look at some projections on Harris real quick. So we're going to go over to the bat, which I think had him at, what did we say, 0.93, one of the higher hitter strikeout projections for lines that are set at 0.5. So this one's looking good, 0.93. What about RotoWire? What do they have him at? Can't find him there. Let's see if we could go and do an advanced search for him here. He is sitting at 0.9 hitter strikeouts according to RotoWire. All right, so that's two different projections, and they have him really close to one hitter strikeout. So I like what I'm seeing so far. Let's run it through this last projection model here, which is Number Fire. Michael Harris, 0.80 hitter strikeouts. So he's at a range of what? 0.80 kind of being the lowest, 0.93 being the highest. That's really close to one. We need him to strike out once. So I think I like what I'm seeing here. Let's go and see if we can find him here on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. We'll also take a look at Riley Green while we're here. Michael Harris, his hitter strikeouts not up on the Optimizer. Let's see if Riley Green is. Riley Green, hitter strikeouts, 51% chance that he goes under 1.5. So is it the most plus EV play on the board? Not really, but we're going to ride with the projections on that. I'm sticking with it. And I think I'll add Michael Harris as well. So I like what we have so far here. Sandy's good by me. Joey's good by me. Riley, Michael Harris, good by me. It's these two right in the middle, Andrew Haney and Spencer Strider. Let's see if we can take those out for right now and find two more. Maybe we go WNBA. Maybe there's a couple of WNBA plays out there. D'Angelo said he's got Haney for under pitching outs. Luis Rodriguez says he's got Bello, Ryan Bello, at 16.5 pitching outs this morning. Is there value on that? Is there value on Bello under 16.5 pitching outs? He's projected for 17 on the bat going up against the Yankees. Maybe. I don't know. Steven wants to know why PrizePicks is not doing discount dogs anymore. It's kind of random. It's not really an once a week type thing like Taco Tuesday. I don't know when or why or how they decide when they're going to put the discount dogs up on the board, but the discount dogs kind of come and go. Hoof says, weren't you on Skewball hits under yesterday? Yeah, I was. Is he still on the PrizePicks board for 5.5 hits allowed? No, he's not. Yeah, he's down to 5 now. Well, it would have been a good play at 5.5. But yeah, a lot of these have been bumped up or bumped down. Now, you could play these if you want. I'm not saying that every single pick that is set at like 5.0 or 4.0 is going to tie. That's not the case. Some of these guys are going to go under, or some of these guys are going to go over, even at a 5.0 or a 4.0, you know, one of those flat lines or rounded off lines without the hook. So, I mean, if you'd like one of these, take them. I'm just going to say, for me personally, I'm avoiding them for this 6-pick that I'm trying to put together here with you guys. What else? I mean, is there anything else that we need to explore through MLB? We've got 4 MLB picks so far. Should we keep going? Should we keep digging into MLB, or should we switch gears and go WNBA? Y'all let me know, those of you watching. Taking a look, just quick glance here, trying to find some edges, some value. JP France at 1.5 walks allowed. He's projected for 1.88. Okay. Maybe France for more than 1.5 walks allowed. He's projected for 2.35 walks allowed. That could be another option. So far, he's projecting pretty good. 1.8 to 2.35 walks allowed. What about over on Number Fire? Where do they have him at? Number Fire's got France for 1.92 walks allowed. So we got 3 nice projections on JP France walks allowed. Let's take a look. Is it a plus EV play? It is. Just a 51% chance as of right now. Now, odds obviously can change. This can move up. This can update. But what I'm seeing right now is that, yeah, I mean, 2 or more walks allowed based on projections alone. I think JP France is somebody that should be on your radar. Just based on the projections. Of all of the pitchers on the board right now, The one with the highest walk projection, according to the bat, is JP France at 1.88 walks. Seth Lugo right behind him at 1.87 walks allowed. These other ones, not a ton of value just compared to the bat projections. We could take a peek at Lugo real quick. Lugo, 1.42, where we talked about France was at over 2 on RotoWire, right? Yeah, 2.35. So for me, it would be France over Lugo. So I'm going to leave France in there. We got 5 MLB plays so far. It looks like Shady's wanting to talk some WNBA. We got George mentioned a couple WNBA picks. B3 Sports Betting says Spencer Strider's going to have 12 Ks tonight. Woo! All right, you guys are saying that WNBA has some good value. Let's flip the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. And again, guys, if you want to get your hands on the DGF Optimizer, use code Curry. I've left a special link down in the description. When you use that link, not only do you save $5, but it also helps to support me, the content that I'm doing, here for you on YouTube for free. So I appreciate you guys for using that special link I've left for you down in the description. So you guys are wanting to take a look at some WNBA. Off the top of my head, I don't know if any of these games are projected to blow out, but I can tell you this. Normally, if the Las Vegas Aces or the New York Liberty are involved, there's typically a blowout, all right? Now, can you guys tell me if any of these games have a spread that is like blowout risk, blowout potential? Because I haven't really looked. D'Angelo's saying that McBride first half points over. Lock it in. Lock it in. All right, let's go look at the WNBA section real quick. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's been a little bit of a change here to the user interface of PrizePicks. Not a major change, but just a subtle difference. PrizePicks always seems to be updating their app, so kind of cool. And I've been told that there's more changes to come here real soon. So you might be seeing a totally different PrizePicks layout format here. All right. WNBA, we've got D'Angelo talking about McBride first half points over. All right. Where's that at? WNBA first half. There it is. They kind of got it hidden here. Does it have tie or push potential though? Because that's my only concern with that. Where's she at? Kayla McBride. You trust her to get buckets? She's sold me a couple times, man. Yeah, I think everybody on Minnesota's pretty much healthy, right? I know Nafisa Collier was out a couple games ago, but I think she's back and balling. I don't think there's any major injuries or anything for Minnesota. Diamond Miller's in there. Jess Shepard's been playing pretty well. Oh, you said points, right? My bad. I'm looking at her PRA. Why they got the PRA as the first category? That's kind of weird. Anyway, McBride's first half points. Where's she at? 6? Ooh. 6. Which means she could tie. She could push in this case. So the Liberty are favored by 11.5 points. Yikes. D'Angelo, you got her at 5.5. She's bumped up to 6. All right, I'm going to leave her alone. But I do like all the green beans that we see in there, right? There's a lot of green in there. But I'm going to leave her alone just because of the push potential. Ooh, Diamond Miller may be under 5.5 points. She's been pretty awful. Let's do something. Let's go back to full game for WNBA. I really don't like. I'm just weird about it. I really don't like putting first half onlys. I don't like mixing first half only with my full games. Anybody else like that? Got some OCD with your PrizePicks entries? Like if I'm gonna put some first half only picks in, like I want the whole entry to just be nothing but first half only. Am I cuckoo for that? I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe I am cuckoo. Let's take a look at some of these fantasy score projections here real quick. I'm going to just go splitty screen. I'm going to move this over to a different tab. There we go. And then we can kind of buzz through these real quick. Your top fantasy score projection is going to be Alyssa Thomas with 45.86 projected fantasy points. And by the way, WNBA, just like NBA, uses FanDuel scoring for fantasy score. So Alyssa Thomas, hold up. Doing this all wrong here. Let's start with Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell projected for 25 on PrizePicks. 22.7 is the RotoWire projection for her. Erica Wheeler's at 22.5 on PrizePicks. She's at 22 on RotoWire. Not loving that. Too tight. Arike Ogunbowale is at 33 on PrizePicks. Projected for just 29.2 on RotoWire. So that's a pretty nice little difference. PrizePicks versus RotoWire, right? So that could be an option. Arike for less. Bonner's at 29 on PrizePicks, 30.1 on RotoWire. Sabali. Okay, here's a big one. Sabali's at 40 on PrizePicks. Now, I know she's coming off of a 62-point fantasy score game against Connecticut, which she's playing them again tonight, guys. But she's at 40 on PrizePicks, projected for just 32 on RotoWire. That is a difference of 8 fantasy score. That is just almost too good for me to pass up. That's quite a significant difference. I mean, 8 fantasy score. I might just have to roll the dice on her. But yeah, she's had a 53, a 62.1. I don't think she goes for 62.1 again tonight against Connecticut. Do you? Spike thinks she's going to get clamped tonight. Interesting. It's hard for players in a back-to-back to repeat that type of performance, is all I'm saying. Normally, you don't see them go off like they did the game before. All right. So let's keep running through these real quick. But so far, I mean, that one seems to be the standout. An 8 fantasy score difference. Sabali's projection versus where she's at on PrizePicks. Alyssa Thomas, 45.5 on PrizePicks, 45.8 on RotoWire. How about Natasha Howard? She's been balling. She's been a wagon in the past, but her projection's 31.5 on RotoWire versus 31 on PrizePicks. A little too tight. Tiffany Hayes, 25 on PrizePicks, 25 on RotoWire. McCowan, she's had some pretty good games in the past. She's got a nice little differential there. 26 on PrizePicks, 29 on RotoWire. Let's look at the rest of these. We've got Natisha. Natisha's at 12.4 projected fantasy score on a line of 16. That's not bad. 3.6. You could take the under on her, potentially. Copper, 28.52 projected points on a line of 26. Marina Mabry, 25.5 on PrizePicks, 26.5 on RotoWire. Courtney Williams, I know you guys had mentioned her for assist, I believe it was. Mr. Blue 718 subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you. Courtney Williams is at 27 on PrizePicks, but 28.2. Elizabeth Williams, I've taken her quite a bit here recently. Sometimes she pays, sometimes she sells. In this case, it looks like she is projected for 29.3 fantasy score versus a line of 25. So that's a difference of 4.3 fantasy points. That's not terrible. Alana Smith, she gets into a lot of foul trouble. She is at 25 on PrizePicks, 27.7 on RotoWire. I'm going to pass. We'll pass on that. Collier, 39.5 on PrizePicks, but just 34.8 out on RotoWire, guys. That's a difference of almost 5 fantasy score. So they'd like her to go under. Don't know that I want to go under tonight on Collier. 35.5 for Jewel Lloyd. She's at 36.2 on RotoWire. Kayla McBride, somebody said take her fantasy score. Her projection's 23.7. Her line's 20. So, I mean, still for me, the standout's going to be taking Sabali under 40 with a difference of 8 fantasy points. I mean, sure, she could go over. We know she's capable of going over. She went over big time last time. Here's one that's kind of standing out. Diamond Miller at 22. Projected for 27.2 today. Difference of over 5 fantasy points. I like that. We could go Diamond Miller, potentially. Hasn't had the best performances lately, but has balled out in the past. Sammy. I took Sammy recently. She let me down. She's projected for about 3 fantasy score higher than where she's at 22.5. Jessica Shepard's at 28.39 on a line of 24.5 on PrizePicks. She's got a lot of green in her recent game logs, so you could go Jessica Shepard over fantasy score. Lots of different options here, guys. I'm trying to find the best ones for you, though. Horston, no thank you. Brianna Stewart, no thank you. Sabrina, no thank you. A little too close for comfort. Here's one. All right, here's another one. 3, we'll call it bad games, underperforming games in a row for Diana Taurasi. But she is projected for 38.96. Let's call it 39 fantasy score today. So here's your other one. If you're looking for another one, Diana Taurasi over 31 fantasy score. But as someone mentioned, the New York Liberty are expected to blow the brakes off the Phoenix Mercury. So it is expected to be a blowout game. So taking a veteran like Taurasi in a potential blowout game, she'd be one of the first ones that would probably find her way sitting on the bench if this game gets out of hand. But I did want to make note that she is projected for about 8 fantasy points higher than where she's at here on PrizePicks at 31. What do y'all think? Let me know in the chat. Courtney Vandersloot, not really seeing any value on her. Sophie, hold up. Sophie's projected for 26.3 fantasy points on a line of 21. Again, blowout risk in this game. Must be stated. Must be noted. Jonquel Jones has been playing some pretty good ball. Not really interested in her fantasy score. It looks like she's more of an underplay. And then Laney, the very last one. Not really seeing much of a difference there. So your top 2 in terms of projection differential versus the PrizePicks line. Satu Sabali under 40 fantasy score. Difference of about 8 fantasy points. And Diana Taurasi over 31 fantasy score. Again, another projection of about 8 fantasy points. So that's kind of what you're looking at there, folks. What do we think about Satu Sabali? We taking her? We running Sabali under 40, riding with these fantasy score? Yeah, I mean, I thought McBride was pretty bad, but hey, she has been hitting that first half points. Those first half points. Let's see. What else are you guys liking here? Sorry if I don't get to all of the comments in the chat, but I appreciate you guys leaving those comments because maybe somebody else sees it. They kind of look into it and they end up tailing some of these picks that you guys are liking. But yeah, you guys are kicking ass. You guys are leaving lots of different options. 97 people watching. 97 people watching. Well, that means that some of y'all don't know what's on the line tonight. Some of y'all don't know what we're playing for tonight. We're defending the belt tonight, all right? Tonight is a heavyweight championship bout. PrizePicks versus the people. We're trying to go 6 for 6. We're trying to turn our risk-free flex play into a 25x payout. And we're putting the big gold belt on the line, guys. We're trying to defend the strap. All right? This is what we're playing for. The belt stays with us tonight. Tonight, we win. All right? That's just the way it's going to go. I'll accept nothing less than victory. We'll defend the strap each and every Friday here on Flex Friday. Wes says, Bryce Miller over 15.5 pitching outs. Let me know if it's a plus EV play. Thank you, first and foremost, for the super chat. Appreciate that, Mr. Wesley Winston. Let's go take a look at Bryce Miller. I had taken the under on his strikeouts earlier at 5. P3 Sports Betting says, under on WNBA, I love it. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. There's been so many times I've taken overs on these ladies, and they have not performed to the best of their abilities. Bryce Miller pitching outs. We're going to address this super chat. Appreciate the super chat. So he's at 15.5. You're thinking about taking the over. It is considered a plus EV play. Nearly a 52% chance of Bryce Miller clearing 15.5 pitching outs. So what does that mean? For those of y'all who don't know what pitching outs are, in baseball, every inning has 3 outs, right? Every inning, 1 inning, has 3 outs. So what we're hoping for is that Bryce Miller makes it through 5 innings. That would be 15 pitching outs, right? At 3 pitching outs per inning. We hope he makes it into the 6th inning and records at least 1 out before getting pulled. So we got about a 52% chance of that happening tonight based on the odds pulled from the sports book. This is a mathematically driven process that we're doing here. We're removing our emotions, our thoughts, our gut feelings, and we're just going with the raw data, the math pulled from the sports books. That's all. So now that we know that it is a plus EV play, let's go take a look at some projections on Bryce Miller and see if the models are liking Bryce. Is he a model favorite to go over? The bat has him at 14.9 pitching outs, which means they think he gets through 5 innings. They don't think he's going to get through much more than that. So 14.9. But each model is a little bit different. So let's check some other models. Bryce Miller's pitching outs, 16.2 over on RotoWire. So they think he makes it past 15.5. So you got 1 under, 1 over thus far. What about, let me check something here on Fantasy Labs. Now this isn't going to tell us an exact number, an exact projection, but Bryce Miller pitching outs at 15.5. You got about a 59.4% win chance based on their projection models and their simulations that they run. That's not bad. About a 60% chance. Okay. And then we'll also take a look at NumberFire. NumberFire's got him at 5.33 innings pitched. Now, if you get a site like NumberFire that gives you innings pitched, which is 5.33, all you have to do simply is times that by 3. And he's projected for almost 16 pitching outs, which is more than the 15.5 line that he's sitting at, right? So you've got what, 3 out of 4 sites so far that like Bryce Miller over 15.5. FTN, let me see. I believe they do have projected outs here. They do. Let me look at where he's at on FTN. Bryce Miller 15.9. Yes. 15.9. So 4 out of 5 sites would say that the over on Bryce Miller at 15.5 is the way to go. The only site that doesn't like him to go for more than 15.5 pitching outs is the bat, which happens to be, for my money, the best model out of all of these. But I think if you were to average them all together, you would see that Bryce Miller's average pitching outs today is probably slightly more than 15.5. Excuse me. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. Is it a plus EV play? Yes. Is it projecting well? Overall, yes. 4 out of 5 sites have him going for more than 15.5 pitching outs. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. D'Angelo coming through with a super chat. He's asking about Jewel Lloyd and Kayla McBride's 3-point makes over. He's also liking some Aaliyah Boston for more on her turnovers. All right, back to the WNBA we go. We still got it pulled up here. Here's what we have so far. For those of you who are just joining, Sandy Alcantara less than 5.5 pitching strikeouts. Joey Lucchesi for more than 3.5 pitching strikeouts. Riley Green for less than 1.5 hitter strikeouts. Michael Harris for more than 0.5 hitter strikeouts. JP France for more than 1.5 walks allowed. And Satu Sabali for less than 40 fantasy score. She's projected for like 8 fantasy score less than where she is at on PrizePicks. So loving that. All right, so that's a little quick recap. All right, D'Angelo's asking about Jewel Lloyd and Kayla McBride's 3-point make. So this is one of those WNBA combo props. So if you go to the 3-point make category, you can see that they combine a lot of these different players. And in this case, he's interested in this one right here at 4.5 3-point makes, McBride and Lloyd. And it's going to be kind of hard for us to really research any of this, but what I can do is kind of get you a projection. I believe they do have that available here on RotoWire. So we'll go to the 3-point make category. Just go to Jewel Lloyd real quick. You can see her projected 3-point makes is 2.9. Let's call it 3. Let's round up and call it 3 for easier math. And then you've got McBride sitting at 2. So when you combine the two, that's 5 3-point makes, right? And the line's 4.5. So you could definitely take that. We could dig into this a little bit further. This is PropStatCash, guys. If you're not using PropStatCash, check it out. Use code Curry. Save yourself 25% off of your first month. I've left a special link down in the description of today's video for you non-PropStatCash users. Use that link. Help support the content. Help support the channel. Let's take a look at these 3-point makes. We're going to look at both of these ladies and see how well or not so well that they've been making 3-pointers. So Jewel Lloyd's 3-point makes has not looked great here recently. She has gone under her line, which I guess is set at 2.5 in 3 straight games. Now the good news is against Minnesota, she's made 2 and 4 3-point makes in a couple of the previous contests. And then Kayla McBride was the other piece of that puzzle. She has done exceptionally well against Seattle in the past, draining 4 threes in both of her previous matchups back at the end of June. So she's made 4 and 4. Together, they need to combine for at least 5, right? That's what we're hoping for. The line's 4.5 shared between the two of them when you combine the two of them. So that would have been 6 for Lloyd and McBride in that first game. 6 total 3-point makes. And then in this second game, it would have been 8 3-point makes when you combine their two numbers. So like the head-to-head matchups have looked pretty well for these two teams based on what they've done historically in the past. Kayla McBride now recently, if you take a look, she has been knocking down quite a few threes over the last like 10 games or so. She's pretty consistent with 2 or better. I mean, she's hit 2 or more in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight games and 7 out of her last 8 games. So really it's going to come down to Jewel Lloyd and her ability to knock down some threes. I mean, you're hoping for, you know, 3, at least 3 from McBride. Maybe Lloyd knocks down a couple, but the last couple of games, she just hasn't been shooting it well from beyond the arc. But that doesn't mean she's going to continue to shoot poorly. Just means that she hasn't been shooting well lately. Now, like we talked about the last couple of games, you know, she's done well against Minnesota. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. As far as this and it being a plus EV play, let's go take a look and see if it's on the optimizer real quick. They had, let's see, let's go back to that. Kayla McBride, Jewel Lloyd points combo over 35 has about a 56% chance of hitting. So that's kind of interesting. And that seems to correlate well with their 3-point makes, right? McBride and Lloyd's 3-point makes, you're liking that one. I mean, if they are, you know, such big favorites to go over their points at 35, then you would imagine that their 3-point makes, they'd have to make some threes to hit their points more than likely, right? That's kind of interesting. Let's see if we could change the stat type to 3-point makes. That's just individual 3-point makes. Points combo. I'm not seeing it here. I can't tell you whether or not that is a plus EV play or not. I don't see it on the optimizer. Bryce Miller bumped. Uh-oh. So Bryce Miller's been bumped from 15.5 to 16 pitching outs. Is that what you're telling me? Well, hopefully you got it. We talked about it. Hopefully you got it. Yeah, I don't see those 3-point makes on the optimizer, unfortunately. But like I said, the fact that the points is such a plus EV play, I would say that that kind of lends itself well to them going over the 3-point makes. And then you're also looking at Boston for her turnovers. Let's see if is she on the optimizer? Aaliyah Boston's turnover. She is not on the optimizer for turnovers, but what I can do is get you a projection on that. But yeah, that looks like a good overplay. McBride and Lloyd over 4.5 3-point makes. I like it. So where's Aaliyah Boston today? Let's go take a look. Her turnovers are sitting at 1.5. She's turned it over in 4 out of her last 5 games, averaging 2.4 turnovers per game. Let's pull her up here. Let's go look at her game log. She's playing for Indiana, right? Indiana. Aaliyah Boston, turnovers for the season. Ooh, boy, she's been turning over a lot over the last 20 games or so. She has turned it over 2 or more times. What's her line? Is it 1.5? Yeah, wow. Okay, this one looks pretty good. She's turned over 2 or more times in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of her last 17 games. She's coughed it over at least twice. Now against Washington, she has not turned it over that many times. She's only gone over once out of the 3 previous meetings against Washington. So it is pouring down rain outside my window. Wish I could show you guys this. All right, and then you wanted to see what her projection is. Her projected turnovers today are 2.0, which is great if you're thinking about taking the over at 1.5. So that looks like a pretty solid one too. Boston over 1.5. Is there anybody that we want to eliminate from these? I mean, we've talked about a lot of picks. We can kick we could kick Sabali out if we wanted to and take Boston over 1.5 turnovers. We could take, France out and replace it with Lloyd and McBride over 4.5 3-point makes. I mean, we could do that. We could make moves if we want to make moves. We could shuffle things around if we need to shuffle them around. Robert coming through with a super chat. He says, Aaliyah Boston over rebounds. Another Aaliyah Boston option that you folks seem to be liking, or at least Robert anyway. She's at 8.5. She's gone over her boards in 4 straight games. 10, 9, 13, and 9. 10, 9, 13, and 9. She's going up against Washington. So let's take a look at the head-to-head here for Boston. Not the greatest rebound numbers against Washington. 14 the first time she met them, but 7 and 8 in her last 2 meetings, which were back in the month of July. About a month ago. So she has gone 1 for 3 in head-to-head matchups against Washington previously. Now we take a look at what she's been doing here over the last 10 games. It's been all right. It's been kind of hit or miss, right? 50% hit rate. Last 4 games have been good. 5 out of the last 6 she's gone over. Little bit of a debate here saying Sandy should go because Sandy's going to go over 5.5 Ks against the Dodgers today. All right. Only one time to shine, says Sabali should go because she had some killer games against Connecticut. Okay. Strider. Chris, what about Strider? Let's get an Aaliyah Boston rebound projection. Her projected rebounds, 10.5, my friends. Elena Deladon is back today, limited minutes, and Shakira as well. Interesting. 10.5 boards, though, projected for Aaliyah Boston. So she's at 8.5 on PrizePicks, projected for 10.5. That is a 2 rebound difference, which is pretty big. So you could go Aaliyah Boston for more than 1.5 turnovers. You could go Aaliyah Boston over 8.5 boards. Both of those look like solid moves. Some of you are a little bit scared about Sabali. You think that she's going to go off again. Think she's going to explode for another big 63-point fantasy score performance. All right, we can take Sabali off. I'm not mad at that. Strider's not in here. I think you're behind, Chris. I think you're watching maybe what we talked about 20 minutes ago or something, 30 minutes ago. I don't think you're live, in other words. I think you're on a delay. But we could take Sabali out. We could go with like Boston's turnovers. So Sandy's one of the ones that you guys are, there's some debate about Sandy's 5.5 Ks. And I don't think we were able to find Sandy on the optimizer. I don't think he was on there. Let me just double check. No, he's not on the optimizer for whatever reason. Let me do this. I can pull up some sportsbook lines here using EV Analytics. So let's go let's go K's. Let's go Miami. All right. Yeah, I mean, if you take a look at what I'm seeing here, most of the sports books, you see all these red arrows? That means he's trending down. That the line, the juice is moving under. And that is the case if you take a look at all these different sports books. BetMGM minus 135. FanDuel minus 136 under. DraftKings minus 135 under. PointsBet minus 140 under. Barstool minus 140 under. Caesars minus 133 under. Now the juice could be wrong. I mean, all these guys that are folks that are betting their hard-earned money on the under could be wrong here on Alcantara, but I'm just saying there is a lot of juice coming in on the under here. There's a lot of juice coming in on the under. I don't know why you're saying that there isn't any sound, because my microphone's definitely playing sound. Yeah, you might want to refresh. Close out or something. I don't know. But I think the sound should be working. Yeah, I can hear myself. I've got the replay or not the replay, but the live stream pulled up in a separate window, and I hear myself coming through the speakers. Yeah, it's pouring here for sure. Anyway, sounds good for all you that are having sound issues. Just try refreshing the YouTube app, maybe close out, get back in. Anyway, yeah, Sandy's juice. The juice is on the under for Alcantara today, so I'm definitely leaving him in there. Now, whether or not he goes over or under, I can't control that, but I can control what I do. And I mean, the juice is coming in on the under, so it is a plus EV play for less than 5.5. And we took a look at his projections, and he's projected to go under 5.5 on pretty much all the models. Now, Joey, for me, I mean, Joey's also a candidate. I think that we could like possibly remove Joey if we wanted to. Yeah, I mean, he's no shoe-in to go over 3.5 Ks. He's kind of iffy for me. You know what? I'm gonna make an executive decision. I'm gonna go with D'Angelo. D'Angelo's proven himself in the past with his WNBA picks. So let's go and take that combo play. I'm gonna take the combo play. Kayla McBride, Jewel Lloyd for more than 4.5 3-point makes. And I think I'm going to call it quits with this. I'm not going to touch it anymore. I'm going to take Sandy for less than 5.5 pitcher strikeouts. I'm going to take Riley Green for less than 1.5 hitter strikeouts. Michael Harris for more than 0.5 hitter strikeouts. JP France for more than 1.5 walks allowed. Aaliyah Boston for more than 1.5 turnovers. And Kayla McBride and Jewel Lloyd for more than 4.5 3-point makes. I think I'm going to go with that. And like I said, 33-33 is the magic number. If you've got it in your account, put 33-33 on it. Let's hopefully go for at least 4 for 6. Maybe we go 5 or 6. Hopefully we go 6 for 6. But if we go at least 4 for 6, we'll get our full $20 back the very next day. And if we go 6 for 6, we've just turned 33-33 into 833.25. I'm going to place the entry before lines move. This is what we've got here, guys. This is what we've decided to go with to defend the strap tonight. All right. We're hoping for 6 for 6. We're hoping to do big things. We're hoping to turn this 33-33 into 833.25. Now, 5 out of 6 is profit. 4 out of 6, we still get our full $20 back. But I like what we've done here. We've got a nice combination of MLB plays mixed with WNBA plays. I like it, man. I think the belt stays right here with us. I think we defend the strap tonight. That's how I'm feeling, man. I'm feeling good about it. Appreciate everybody who put in a super chat, who put in a comment. I appreciate everybody who shows up and supports these live streams. Hopefully, we hang on to the belt tonight. If we don't, we'll be back to claim our belt next Friday. Next Flex Friday. Kalia Copper says, I'm sorry, Robert Pitt says, Kalia Copper over field goals made. All right. I'll pull up a projection on Copper for you for field goals made. Her field goals are sitting at 8.2 projected field goal makes. Her line is 6.0. So you could jump on that if you want to, Robert. All right. With that being said, I'm getting out of here, guys. Good luck if you decided to tail. If not, hey, that's okay too. Hopefully some of the picks that we talked about in today's video help you win some money tonight. And for the Patreon gang, guys, I'll be posting some more picks as I find them to Discord. We'll see you then. Good luck. Peace.